For ribs done right, slow cooked to perfection, come to Lady Louise's place and get authentic home-cooked comfort foods at reasonable prices. Come in today for great lunch specials like these. 4-bone rib sandwich, $5.95. 3-piece whiting fish sandwich, $3.99. Cajun turkey wing, $5.95. Chicken leg and thigh, $1.99. Join our rewards club and get $5 off your next meal. We cook the way Big Mama cooks. Lady Louisa's on West McNichols at Greenfield. Call 313-273-3663.
Computers for only $200? That's right. Computers for only $200. Let All About Technology get you started. Get a computer for only $200. And don't forget, if you need any assistance or computer help on your existing computer, we can help. Hardware, software, networking, you name it. All About Technology can do it. Call 313-218-4888 or go to www.allabouttechnology.com, the home of the $200 computer.
Welcome to Josephine's Food for the Soul, where we make eating a pleasant experience. You can taste the love.
Whether it's our delicious barbecue ribs and chicken or tasty sides, you can just taste the love. Join us on Fridays for hot fish guaranteed to make your mouth water. Don't want to leave home? No problem. We'll deliver. For delicious home-style cooking, stop by. We are located at 18,000 East 9 Mile Road between Kelly and Gratiot. Call 586-362-8155 to place your orders.
I'm fabulous. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Daddy. I'm famous.
Young cat got back, did a little bit. Now we hardy, buffy, tough, do-rag and Tim's. Kinda hard to get a job back out on the block. Charge that to the game. Young girl, she grew up in a rush. Had it bad, no doubt. She don't know who to trust. Every man she ever loved only want to crush. Charge that to the game. But it's all gravy. Hey, baby. Shots get popped. The cops shut down the party.
Good evening and welcome to Expose Under the Sun. I'm Sharon Dumas and I'm your host. And I'm excited today at the guest that we have all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, Miss Gabrielle Jones. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming. And you're with Riel, founder and CEO of Riel Events.
Yes.
And tell me what Riel Events are.
So we're a unique events organization for nonprofits. We help nonprofits in two ways. First, we help them with creating an engagement strategy for the year. So you're thinking about basically an events campaign. Every event you're going to have this year, when do you need to start planning for it, getting their PR out and all of that, and what's your message for each event. And then we also help nonprofits execute events. So a singular one that they would have, whether it's a gala or a fundraiser, something like that.
Oh, okay. And how did you get your start?
So it's very interesting. I went to Wellesley College studying sociology and international relations. I knew I wanted to work with social causes. I had just a love and passion for helping others, and I thought that nonprofits were unique because they looked at the problems individuals face every day, and they define it in a particular way, and they create solutions for it versus just researching it and producing great statistics. They actually go out and help those people. And so I started working with a lot of different organizations, and in every role that I had, they brought me into working with donors, their events, working with their board.
Okay.
And after that, I just started to love it and realize that my passion really had a huge impact on the organization itself. Because when I went to college, I didn't go to college to become an event planner. You know, I went to study politics and hopefully become a diplomat.
Right.
And I saw that, wow, I do have a passion that really does translate to something great for organizations.
That's great. And then there's a lot of politics in nonprofits. So
Definitely.
you're in the right place here. There are a lot of nonprofits out there watching, directors and CEOs. What advice would you give them about planning for the rest of the year or the new year?
You really want to think about what your organization needs. Everybody says, I need money. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But when you start thinking of beyond that, because you are always going to need money, do you need more brand awareness? Do people need to know this is what XYZ organization does, and this is how they're different from every organization that's in their category? Or do you need people to know this is our impact over the last 30 years? This is all the people we've helped, and this is the outcome, you know? Or is it really, okay, we're brand new and we do need funding because we need a location or we have a particular project? You really want to define your objective for that year and create those events around that.
That's great. And is it too late? Now we're halfway through the year, believe it or not. I mean, it was just winter last week, right?
Right.
But now that we're 6 months in, is there still time for a nonprofit to plan an event where it would be successful?
This is actually the perfect time because a lot of nonprofits are about to start their next fiscal year. And so as they're beginning and they're looking at their budgets and they're examining the choices that they made last year, they can start to think about the events this year. So this is really a crucial time before you start, you know, really nailing down your budget items. You want to make sure you're thinking about your events and what you can do.
Oh, okay. And when you do event planning, what's the first step? I know you have to, you know, set your goals and things like that.
Right.
But as you step out there, what would you say the first step would be?
First step before anything, know who you are. Know your organization. Know how your organization is different from every other organization. You know, in Detroit, you might have 50 organizations that are that help women, you know, but yours, you help different women of young girls of full size, and you help them with their lifestyle, and you help them with healthy eating and whatnot, and that's something unique. And you're speaking to a particular young woman who's going through a particular challenge and story.
Right.
And so you need to be able to articulate that to your potential donors or sponsors and let them know, you should invest in me because I am doing X, Y, and Z. Not to take away from any other organization, but if you don't know your story and know who you are, you end up having a very generic and cookie cutter party or fundraiser, and you could really take off your logo and put someone else's logo on that event, and it wouldn't make a difference, and that's not what you want at all.
Right. Now, that's interesting you would say that because my organization has been around 34 years, and you're absolutely right. I've seen that happen, and I've always tried to be different in everything that I did. And so I can tell you know a lot about what you're talking about, that's for sure, to be so young. Can you give your contact information for us?
Yes. So you can follow me on Instagram at Rielle, RIELLE_events, and you can call us at 770-282-4590, and our website is Rielle Events, RIELLEEVENTS.com.
Good. And give the phone number one more time.
770-282-4590.
And if you have a question for Gabrielle, you can call 313-868-4336. Okay, as we move into the new year, Gabrielle, and we're planning for the new year, for 2017. Wow.
Yes.
Can you tell us, as a nonprofit, what we should be doing? What should our budget look like as we start to plan these events that we want?
So as you're planning your events, you're thinking again about your goal for the year. If my goal is really to raise awareness, then I'm going to think about my communications budget being a part of my events budgets, because I want reporters to come out. I want to make sure I have airtime on the radio before my event to let people know that we're having this, or after my event to let people know what happened, what were the things that we discussed, why was it so special, and why they need to come out next year. Also, if you want to run ads and stuff like that. So you really need to know what your goal is for that year, the events you want to create, and keep in mind, okay, we might have to pull from other things like the marketing department or the communications versus just, I have $5,000 for one event. You know, it might take other things.
Absolutely. There are a lot of small nonprofits that are here in the city of Detroit.
Yes.
And sometimes they don't get the big bang for the buck.
Yes.
What advice would you have for them?
I say partner together and do events together. The worst thing that I hear, and it's almost something that's a dirty word to me, is a community event. And the reason why it's a dirty word to me is because it says, I'm not going to put a lot of money into this, but I want as much money back as possible. So if you're having like a fish fry or something, yes, you get a little bit of money then, but you're not optimizing the amount of money you could be getting from that donor, because they don't know who you are. They don't know what you stand for. And so I might see a little kid with their baseball helmet by the grill or whatnot. I'll give them $5 because I care about kids and baseball, but I might be someone who give them $500 that year, if they had told me more, if I had learned about the kid's story, and really connect, have the people who are a part of your organization that you're helping tell their story. I love baseball because when I was 5 years old, I didn't really have friends, and now this helped me get friends, and I'm paying more attention in school, X, Y, Z, and I'm like, wow,
Right.
I need to give. But partnering together lets people know that there's a lot of us out here doing different things, and that there are a lot of us who might need your support, and you have options of who you support. And you can pool your money so you can have a bigger experience for those guests, and they'll be willing to give more, and they'll be able to connect with you and your mission.
Great answer. That is absolutely a great answer. And I'm sure people out there who have nonprofits, I mean, that's just excellent information. You are very smart. You're a very smart young lady. What about in Atlanta? What type of organizations did you work with in Atlanta?
So I've worked with a lot of different organizations, from being in Boston, Washington, D.C., and in Atlanta. From one of my favorite organizations is actually the World Affairs Council in D.C., and they're one of the top 5 most influential nonprofits there.
Oh, okay.
What I loved about them is that they had a series of events bringing in thought leaders in the community, ambassadors for the everyday public, so that they can talk to everybody and learn about what's happening in our country versus just relying on the media. And that's something that was really rare and unique. But what they did, unlike a lot of organizations, they had a great system. We knew beforehand what we're going to be doing that day. We had our checklist so that the event ran smoothly. We knew what tasks needed to be done. And as someone who managed all the interns, I was able to make sure if someone wasn't doing something that I could pick up that duty. When nonprofits don't have those roles laid out, people don't know where they're needed. And then you have things falling through the cracks. And as a guest, that looks very sloppy. And I won't want to give as much as I probably could, because I'm like, if you can't run an event, how can I trust you with my money? And when you're a nonprofit, you have to realize that your events, or the events you're part of as a panelist, or you have a booth at, they reflect who you are and what your organization's personality is. And that's the only way the public's going to know who you are. So if it's sloppy or if it's half done, that's a full representation of who you are and what they can trust in you, you know. So you can't just put it together and hope that people will overlook big flaws, because they'll hold it against you at the end of the day.
Right. Excellent point.
Yeah.
I mean, having a nonprofit is like I'm interviewing you, but I'm also learning as well. So that's a good thing. Would you give your contact information again for us?
Yes, you can call me at 770-282-4590, and you can go to our website at rielleevents.com, RIELLEEVENTS.com.
And now that you're here in Detroit, and you're seeing the lay of the land, so to speak, the kind of
Yes.
things that are going on, and you've met some people,
Yes.
some movers and shakers and things
I
like
have.
that. What kind of things would you recommend for organizations here?
Keeping high minimums. I think that what I love about Detroit is I'm very inspired by the people here. I'm very inspired by the fresh foods and flowers and architecture, and you have all the elements to have great events. But you need to keep the high standards. You need to make sure that you follow through. Your MC has to be at that level, and they have to be able to demand the crowd and bring it back to your mission, or the mission of that event. And making sure that you're not just going down a checklist, that you're remembering it's all about your guests, and you're thinking about their experience and what are they seeing versus, okay, this person showed up, it's done, you know.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest thing. And there are a lot of organizations that are doing so much work here. So I just say, again, partner up and come together, because there are so many great organizations out here.
That is great. Well, Gabrielle, I've enjoyed having you. I'm looking forward to speaking
Yes.
with you offline.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I think you're going to do well in the city of Detroit.
Thank you so much.
And we will be right back with you.
I'm fabulous. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Daddy. I'm fabulous.
Young cat got back, did a little bit. Now we hardy, puffy, tough, do-rag and Tim's. Kinda hard to get a job back out on the block. Charge that to the game. Young girl, she grew up in a rush. Had it bad, no doubt. She don't know who to trust. Every man she ever loved only wanna crush. Charge that to the game. But it's all gravy. Hey, baby. Shots get popped, the cops shut down the party. Jeans sag low, blow.
And we're back with another guest. And again, of course, I'm excited to have you. Thank you so much, Ms. McClure, for coming on the show. And we're going to be talking about the Small Business Revenue Summit. Can you tell me a little bit about the Small Business Revenue Summit?
First of all, let me say thank you for having me. The Small Business Revenue Summit is for those small and micro businesses that are the bootstrappers. You know, they don't have the big capital. They're not out here with the big bank accounts. They're parallelpreneurs. They're the folks that have the side gig, and they're looking for a way to get out into the mainstream marketplace, and they want to be a part of the revitalization of the city.
Oh, okay, and is this the first time that the summit is happening?
For me, yes.
Okay.
for me, yes.
Okay, and you're the organizer?
Yes, ma'am, the sponsor.
The sponsor?
The main sponsor, yes.
Okay.
The Merchants Gazette, which is a small business magazine that I have. It's an e-magazine as of this year, and it is the host of the event.
And if there's a business owner, and I'm sure there are plenty of business owners out there, what suggestion would you give them as far as, again, as with the other young lady, the first steps they should take in pursuing the dollars and the things that they need as it relates to their business?
Get off the couch.
Get off the couch.
Get
That's
off the
a good
couch.
one.
A lot of, there's a quote that talks about all the great ideas that are in the cemetery. A lot of people never even get off the couch. There's some great ideas that are floating around, and because we have a lot of outer conflict from our closest people, we never get off the couch. Right. It's okay to dream, but it's okay to start doing it.
Absolutely.
It doesn't always have to be organized. Just do it.
Just do it. I agree with that. And right here on the flyer it says procrastination and denial won't move you in an upward direction or fulfill the goals on your vision board. Accelerate your climb. Did you put that quote on there?
Yes, ma'am.
And why did you put that on there?
That's what going to the summit is. Okay. The question is your business in the valley, on a peak, or are you coming to the summit? And I know for myself, being a fellow small business owner, being born and raised here, but being in Memphis for the last 10 years and getting started with this, came home to handle some family business and decided, okay, I want to be a part of my hometown coming back to life. So I kind of got involved in some things, and this is a result of that. I want to be on the summit. I'm going to be at the summit, not just because I'm hosting it, but because there are contacts to be made. There are things to be learned. Even as one of the breakout session facilitators, there are things to be learned from just coming in contact with other like-minded individuals.
Absolutely. Tell us who some of your facilitators are.
One of our facilitators is Damian Cotton from the Cotton Law Center. Okay. And Damian actually works with small businesses to help you figure out whether you want to be a sole proprietor or an LLC or partner, or what your title will be,
okay,
what your tag will be. And so he'll be there discussing how to get paid.
Okay.
Because, you can't fuss about the client not paying you if you didn't have a contract that says that. And you got a lot of folks running around, they're doing business, and they do good business, but they do get stiffed, and they need a contract, but they don't know how to get it from in their head to on paper. So they need what I call a transcriber.
Right.
So they'll be able to sit down and talk with Damon and find out some key points.
And I think that's very important, because there are even some established businesses that don't have a contract that covers them in every area that they need to be covered. Yeah. And what about some of the other workshops?
One of the workshops that I'm kind of tickled about, a partner of mine down in Memphis, her name is Tanisha Robinson. She has Phoenix Consulting, and she is doing a session. It's called The Outer Conflict of the Inner Entrepreneur. And what she talks about is it's usually the people closest to you and yourself that keep you from getting up off of the couch.
Right.
And so she kind of works with you, and in this particular instance, it's in a group environment, but you can contact her to work close with her one-on-one. She teaches you how to not hear the naysayers or to quiet those naysayers,
Okay.
so that you can get on with pursuing your dream. For myself, I'm teaching a session called the Mouse on My Wheel is a Skinny Bitch.
Okay. All
'Cause
right.
she's never stops moving, you know what I'm saying? And she's loud because you'll lay down and go to sleep, and she's on that wheel because your mind never stops turning as an entrepreneur. But you have to learn how to quiet her so that you can get focused on where you're trying to go so that you, again, can accomplish your goals.
Wow, the session sounds like they were created for the person who has experienced it, and now you've learned some things and you want to teach or make sure others.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But even as a beginning entrepreneur, some people are having conflicts sitting on the couch because they don't understand that if you don't get up to if you don't try it, you never know.
Right.
So you fail to try.
Right.
You fail without even getting up off the couch. You fail to try.
Absolutely. Will you give your contact information?
The telephone number is 1-800-414-1981. And you can go to the Eventbrite site, which is the Small Business Summit 2016, .eventbrite.com to get your tickets. You can find us on Facebook at MGBiz, which is for the Merchants Gazette. You can get your tickets there. And you can also get your tickets at Presno Match, which is a mobile app.
Okay, and we haven't said when it is and where it is.
It is Saturday, June 25th from 9 to 3 at the Northwest Activity Center.
All right, all right. So if you're a business owner out there, you should really call in and ask a question of Ms. McClure. But this sounds like it's going to be a fantastic event. And at the Northwest Activity Center, it's basically centrally located, or most people in the city of Detroit
That's
knows
why
where
I chose it, yeah.
knows where it's at. And now that the city is coming back, a lot of people are starting to become entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So this is even for that contractor, because I've had some bad contractors recently. It's terrible, but they need to be there for the to make sure they know how to do their contracts. So it doesn't matter how small you are or what the idea is. They can actually come to the summit and learn some things about doing business.
Well, what I've had happen since I've been here, because as I said, I came back to take care of some personal things. What I have found is that a lot of contractors over the phone will tell me that they are not willing to come to the city of Detroit to do business. I'm a Coleman Young baby.
Okay.
So you stay over there because there's enough talented, well-equipped individuals within the city that can do anything that we need done. Maybe we just have to come together and help everybody get on the right track.
Absolutely. Go ahead, caller. Are you there, caller?
And the phone number. Thank you.
Okay. Would you give the phone number again, all the information again for us?
Okay, the number is 1-800-414-1981. And you can get tickets on Eventbrite, the Small Business Revenue Summit, .eventbrite.com.
There's an early bird price.
There was.
There was. It's
there
over.
was. Yeah, it's expired.
Okay, and the date is?
June 25th. It's a Saturday from 9 to 3. We'll have a gentleman there from Zud Films. They will be doing professional headshots. Because if you're like me, mine was outdated. I think it was from my son's third grade graduation or something.
Okay.
And so, on LinkedIn, you need your headshot. And if you're doing the personal brand like Tanisha does, you need a up-to-date professional headshot. And normally you pay maybe, I think it's like $100. For this particular instance, he's offering an event-only price, and I believe he's charging like $25, $30.
Oh, okay.
And you get these
That's a good
3
price.
choices and everything. There is a sign-up sheet. It's on the website. So if you want to sign up to have your professional headshot done, you sign up in advance, and that way, you'll be on the schedule, and you can get your shot taken.
So we're talking about the Small Business Revenue Summit, and it's coming up June 25th, Saturday, June 25th, from 9 until 3. And it's at the Northwest Activity Center. And can you give us, like, with your experience, we only have a little short time left, can you talk to that person out there that's an entrepreneur that may bake cookies or cakes or something? Pitch them and tell them to come on out. You have 30 seconds.
I have vendor tables available for you to showcase your special talent your products, your services. Again, the number is 1-800-414-1981. If you never come out of that door, you will have failed to try. It's better to try and fail. 1-800-414-1981. The Small Business Revenue Summit, Saturday, June 25th, Northwest Activity Center, 9 to 3.
Very good, very good. And with all the things that are going on in the city of Detroit, you know, sometimes we as a people sit back and talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I think that this summit is motivation to get up and actually do something about it. So no procrastination. And I cannot stand people who just talk what everybody else is doing and putting that down, but yet you're not trying yourself.
Yeah.
So you're giving them an opportunity. And if you could give that phone number one more time for us.
1-800-414-1981. We're also giving away a lot of freebies.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We've got a free resource guide that's got 100 plus resources that you can, if you bring your computer with you, you can sit at the table and put into place right then.
That's
This
great.
is not another just networking event where I trade business cards with you and pray that you share your Rolodex with me.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Ms. McClure, for coming on
Thank
this
you.
show. Good
Thank
luck for the
you.
program. Thank you. You've been watching Expose Under the Sun, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, Mommy. Hi, Daddy. I'm faded.
Young cat got back, did a little bit. Now we hardy, puffy, tough, do-rag and Tim's.